now is the time for turning. As I take my daily walks, I've noticed the first leaves turning from green, and the edges are red and orange. Beth, who is a birder, has noticed her birds turning south, headed once more to the warmer climates. And we turn at this season. Every year, we turn back to look at the year that has passed. We turn inward to look and see the patterns that we want to repeat and the patterns we need to let go of. This service of Slichot marks our return into this sanctuary for the first time. Beth and I have been here together since February. And so we turn towards each other, towards ending the week that has been with the ceremony of Havdalah, and turning to the prayers of this Slichot service, this quiet service, to begin the work of turning towards 5781.
La 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 ya la ya la 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 ya la ya la 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 ya la ya la 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 Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen borei peri hagafen ya la ya la 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 ya la ya la 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 ya la ya la 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 ya la ya la 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 Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei minei besamim borei minei besamim ya la ya la 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 ya la ya la 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 ya la ya la 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 ya la ya la 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 Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei meorei ha'esh borei meorei ha'esh ya la ya la 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 ya la ya la 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 ya la ya la 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 ya la ya la 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 Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamavdil ben kodesh lechol hamavdil ben kodesh lechol ya la ya la 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 ya la ya la 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 ya la ya la 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 ya la ya la 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 Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu HaTishbim, Eliyahu, Eliyahu, Eliyahu HaGiladi, Bimhera ve'yameinu, Yavo ben David, im Mashiach ben David, Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Hatishbi, Eliyahu, Eliyahu, Eliyahu Hagiladi. Shavua Tov, 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 Shavua Tov. A good week, a week of peace. May gladness reign and joy increase. A good week, a week of peace. May gladness reign and joy increase. Shavua Tov, everyone.
Shavua Tov. We continue in our Slichot service. Last sliver of the moon, the waning crescent, small and slender, glowing in the east, at the end of the journey. A curve of silver barely there, that fades away at the dawn. Faintest light the eye can discern, like the soul within me, barely there, waning and weary as the year winds down.
At the end of the journey, the old moon flickers out, and darkness awaits the new. Now, in the stillness, we can feel it being born. Remind us, the horizon will be bright again, the waxing crescent will rise. Heal our hearts. Gather us in from the darkness. Restore the light within us. Or zaru ala tzadik, ole Yisrael simcha. Or zaru ala tzadik, ole Yisrael simcha. Or zaru ala tzadik, Ole Yisrael simcha, or zaru ala tzadik, Ole Yisrael simcha.
The psalmist sang, "At midnight I rise to give thanks and praise." And so we come to this hour of slichot under the canopy of night, to celebrate goodness, to proclaim what is right and true, to praise, to thank, to bless the great giver who gives and renews our lives.
We turn to loved ones, to friends, and to our people everywhere, the whole house of Israel. And our hearts turn toward the human family. We pray for its healing. Yet hardest of all is the inward gaze, the return to ourself, the honest reckoning of the soul, cheshbon hanefesh.
We ask how to account for selfish acts, lies, and senseless anger, how to account for the shadows, the storms, the bitterness in our lives, the damage and distress we cause, how to own up for it all and find our way back with integrity in peace.
We ask, have we the will to change? And if not now, when? please join in singing Pitchu li. Open for me the gates of righteousness. I will enter them and give thanks. Pitchu li sha'arei tzedek avovam odeya. 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 And we continue with the words Achat Sha'alti from Psalm 27, the psalm we've been singing all month. Achat Sha'alti me'et Adonai. Just one thing I have asked of God. Achat sha'alti me'et Adonai, ota avakesh. Achat sha'alti me'et Adonai, ota avakesh. Shivti beveit Adonai kol yemei chayai. Lachazot benoam Adonai ulevaker behechalo. Lachazot benoam Adonai ulevaker behechalo.
Coming up on September. White butterflies with single black finger paint eyes on their wings, dart and settle, eddy and mate over the green tangle of vines in Labor Day morning steam.
The year grinds into ripeness and rot, grapes darkening, pears yellowing, the first Virginia creeper twining crimson, the grasses dry straw to burn.
The new year rises, beckoning across the umbrellas on the sand. I begin to reconsider my life. What is the yield of my impatience? What is the fruit of my resolve?
I turn from my frantic white dance over the jungle of productivity, and slowly a nigun slides cold water down my throat. I rest on a leaf-spotted red.
Now is the time to let the mind search backwards, like the raven loosed to see what can feed us. Now the time to cast the mind forward, to chart an aerial map of the months.
The new year is a great door that stands across the evening, and Yom Kippur is the second door. Between them are song and silence, stone and clay pot to be filled from within myself.
I will find there both ripeness and rot, what I have done and undone, what I must let go with the waning days, and what I must take in. With the last tomatoes, we harvest the fruit of our lives.
Esa einai el heharim me'ayin yavo ezri. Esa einai el heharim me'ayin yavo ezri. Esri me'im Adonai ose shamayim va'aretz. Esri me'im Adonai ose shamayim va'aretz. Esa einai el heharim me'ayin yavo ezri. Esa einai el heharim me'ayin yavo ezri.
Lead us to atonement. Master of wonders, Mother of souls, forgive the darkness in our hearts, our loss of hope. Pardon our distraction, our ears closed to the pleas of the poor, and lead us to atonement.
Master of wonders, Mother of souls, forgive us our circles of secrecy, knots of guilt, shame, and anger, webs of betrayal and greed. Pardon the pursuit of happiness that ends in worship of self and leads us to atonement.
Master of wonders, Mother of souls, refuse to forgive our refusal to forgive. Release our grudges, hatreds, and feuds. Puncture our stubborn self-righteousness and lead us to atonement.
Master of wonders, Mother of souls, forgive our vanity in a universe of awe, our complacency in a universe of need. Pardon our failure to thank, praise, and salute every soul and every star, and lead us to atonement.
Master of wonders, Mother of souls, forgive us our disregard and insolence, our distance from loved ones and friends. Pardon our daily inattentiveness, our failure to notice that we fail to notice, and lead us to atonement.
Amen.
Amen.
Ki anu amecha ve'ata Eloheinu, anu vanecha ve'ata avinu, anu avadecha ve'ata Adonenu, anu kahalecha ve'ata chelkeinu, anu nachalatecha ve'ata goralenu, anu sonecha ve'ata ro'enu, anu charmecha ve'ata notrenu, anu fa'ulatecha ve'ata yotzreinu, anu ra'ayatecha ve'ata dodenu, anu segulatecha ve'ata keroveinu, anu amecha ve'ata malkeinu, anu ma'amirecha ואתה מאמירנו יאיי יאיי יאיי
So often we think of this season as being about atonement, the act of searching for mistakes, for acknowledging them, apologizing for them. Equally in this season when it's so hard right now, let us hear the voice of our tradition asking us to live in places of forgiveness, to feel that cascading of forgiveness. The 13 attributes of God remind us of its ever-present power in our lives.
Adonai, Adonai, El Rachum V'Chanun, Erech Apayim V'Rav Chesed V'Emet, Notzer Chesed La'alafim, Nosei Avon V'Fesha V'Chata'a V'Nakeh. Adonai, Adonai, El Rachum V'Chanun, Erech Apayim V'Rav Chesed V'Emet, Notzer Chesed La'alafim, Nosei Avon V'Fesha V'Chata'a V'Nakeh. Adonai, Adonai, El Rachum V'Chanun, Erech Apayim V'Rav Chesed V'Emet, Notzer Chesed La'alafim, Nosei Avon V'Fesha V'Chata'a V'Nakeh.
Adonai, Adonai, God compassionate, gracious, endlessly patient, loving, and true, showing mercy to the 1,000th generation, forgiving evil, defiance, and wrongdoing, granting pardon. Our Torahs are dressed in white for this season. They remind us that in all times, even the most difficult, we have had a calendar and community to hold us, to remind us of our power, our strength, our compassion and love, to remind us of all those who came before, who have done this sacred work in the hardest of times. We rise now to honor them, our elders, from whom we have learned stories and lessons, with whom we have studied and worshiped and celebrated the passage of life and time. Our elders who have taught us goodness, honesty, and the sanctity of life, whose mantles are woven with threads of memory, embroidered with silver and gold, majestic folds of silk and velvet, in royal hues befitting their rank, as brilliant as the sun.
We rise now to honor them as they put aside these everyday mantles of splendor and don their sacred garments, the vestments of purity and wholeness, befitting the days of awe so soon approaching. Each in its turn is fitted with wimple, mantle, and crowns, each more stunning than the last. Majestic folds of velvet and silk to clothe the holy words, a canvas of purest white, as brilliant as the moon.
The holy season has now begun, and the elders, in their yontif clothes, stand proud and tall before us, beacons of wisdom and light, reminders of the holiness we seek on this new day in Elul.
Amen. Eitz Chaim hi lamachazikim ba v'tomecheha meushar deracheha darchei noam v'chol netivoteh hashalom hashivenu Adonai elecha v'nashuva kadesh yameinu kekedem.
Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu, tavo lefanecha tefilatenu, va'al tit'alem mitchinatenu. Our God and God of all generations, may our prayers reach your presence. And when we turn to you, do not be indifferent. Adonai, we are arrogant and stubborn, claiming to be blameless and free of sin. But in truth, we have stumbled and strayed. We have done wrong. Together we confess. Together we take responsibility.
Yai dai 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 ya da da dai 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 ya da da dai 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 Ashamnu Bagadnu Gazalnu Divarnu Dofi Yai dai 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 ya da 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 ya da 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 Hevinu vehirshanu zadnu chamasnu tafalnu sheker ya da 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 ya da 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 ya da 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 Yatsnu ra kizavnu latsnu maranu niatsnu sararnu Avinu Hashanu, Sararnu, Kishinu Orev, Yai-dai-dai-dai-dai, Yada-da-dai-dai-dai, Yada-dai-dai-dai-dai, Rashanu, Shichatnu, Ti'avnu, Ta'inu, Titanu, Yai-dai-dai-dai-dai, Yada-da-dai-dai-dai, Yada-da-dai-dai-dai.
We abused and abandoned. We acted without thinking.
We blamed others when we failed. We boasted and belittled.
We coveted and corrupted. We coerced the weak to do our will.
We drove away those we love with silence. We deceived and denied.
We enticed and enslaved. We exalted money and material goods.
We fouled air, sea, and land. We flattered and falsified.
We gravitated to those who gossip. We gave up our ideals and gave in to our impulses.
We hated and humiliated. We held grudges and refused to forgive.
We ignored and idolized. We insisted that we were right.
We judged others rashly and wrongly. We were jealous and unjust.
We killed. We were knowingly unkind. We kept to ourselves in the face of need.
We lacked commitment to causes we espoused. We were lazy and we lied.
We missed the mark and minimized our mistakes. We mocked what we did not understand.
We neglected those who depend on us. We were negative and narcissistic.
We overreached and overreacted, too often erupting in outbursts of anger.
We poisoned and polluted. We perverted truth for personal gain.
We quelled the voice of conscience within us. We quit too soon and quarreled too often.
We ridiculed and resented. We refused to accept help. We rationalized our failings and our flaws.
We spurned the wisdom of our tradition. We squabbled and scorned.
We talked too much or not enough. We traumatized our children with anger.
We issued ultimatums and made ugly threats. We uttered untruths and undermined with cynicism.
We were vain and vicious. We vilified foreigners and strangers.
We wasted time, strength, and talent. We wallowed in self-pity, wished but did not act.
We exploited and expropriated. We expected others to save the world.
We yearned too much for prizes and praise, and failed to share fully in the joy of Zion reborn.
And we invite you to join with us responsively in this Al-Chet. Al-Chet shechatanu lefanecha be'ones uvaratzon. The ways we have wronged you under duress and by choice. Ve'al-Chet shechatanu lefanecha bezadon uvishgaga. The harm we have caused in your world deliberately and by mistake. Al-Chet shechatanu lefanecha bagalui uvasater. The ways we have wronged you openly and secretly. Ve'al-Chet shechatanu lefanecha beyodim uvelo yodim. The harm we have caused in your world consciously and unconsciously. Al-Chet shechatanu lefanecha b'sinat chinam. The ways we have wronged you by hating without cause. Ve'al-Chet shechatanu lefanecha birchilut. the harm we have caused in your world through gossip and rumor. The ways we have wronged you through a selfish or petty spirit. The harm we have caused in your world by hardening our hearts. Ve'al kulam Eloha selichot selach lanu mechal lanu kaper lanu ve'al kulam Eloha selichot selach lanu mechal lanu selach lanu mechal lanu kaper lanu.
The places where we are right. From the place where we are right, flowers will never grow in the spring.
The place where we are right is hard and trampled like a yard.
But doubts and loves dig up the world like a mole, a plow, and a whisper will be heard in the place where the ruined house once stood.
Hear our call, Shema Kolenu. Shema Kolenu, Shema Kolenu, Shema Kolenu, Shema Kolenu, Shema Kolenu, Adonai Eloheinu, Chus v'rachem aleinu. Chus v'rachem aleinu, v'kaber b'rachamim uvratzon et tefilatenu. V'kaber b'rachamim uvratzon et tefilatenu. Shema kolenu, Shema kolenu, Shema kolenu, Adonai Eloheinu, Chus v'rachem aleinu, Chus v'rachem aleinu, Hashivenu Adonai elecha v'nashuva. Chadesh yameinu kekedem, Chadesh yameinu kekedem. Shema kolenu, Shema kolenu, kolenu, Shema kolenu, Shema kolenu, Adonai Eloheinu, Chus v'rachem aleinu. Chus v'rachem aleinu.
Walk with me in the woods. Leave the edge of the forest behind.
Come deep into the green until the shafts of sunlight are lost. Feel the stillness of the center.
Walk with me to the top of the hill. Leave the broad path behind, up beyond where the trees grow. Hear the quiet of the heights.
Walk me into this new year, into its demands, into its joys, into the clamor of its unfolding.
Walk alone, each of us on our own right path. Walk the echoes of the blasts of the shofar with the stillness of the center, with the help of our God.
Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Chanenu ve'anenu, ki ein banu masim. Aseh imanu tzedaka v'chesed. Aseh imanu tzedaka v'chesed ve'hoshienu. Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Chanenu ve'anenu, ki ein banu masim. So we have come to a very exciting part of our Slichot service, and we've never tried this before in this setup, but Joel Zimmerman is our shofar blower tonight, and we're hoping to be able to unmute you, Joel. Yep, there we go. And here is the holy blast on this Slichot night. Are we good? Okay. So Joel, I can see you, I think. So let's see what happens. Tekiah.
We hear ya.
Yep. Tekiah. Tekiah Gedolah.
Let the sound of Joel's shofar call all of us home, into our community, into ourselves. Our service this evening will conclude Hashivenu, return again.
Hashivenu, Hashivenu, Adonai Elecha, Vena Shuva, Vena Shuva. Chadesh, Chadesh, Yaveinu kekedem. Hashivenu, Hashivenu, Adonai Elecha, Vena Shuva, Vena Shuva. Chadesh, Chadesh, Yameinu kekedem. Return again, return again, return to the land of your soul. Return again, return again, return to the land of your soul. Return to who you are, return to what you are, return to where you are, born and reborn again. Return again, return again, return to the land of your soul.
May we find this season to be a fruitful one as each of us embarks on this work that each of us have to do as individuals. May we feel the loving embrace of this Temple Shir Tikvah community. It is not the same being here without you, and yet these walls carry the spirit of this community, and the spirit of this community cannot be held within these walls. And I know that everything we do here creates an energy that binds us wherever you are joining us from, connecting our lives as one.
Amen, amen.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.